Yo, what up, dude? Nothing, man. Just a slow start to the morning. I jumped on because I noticed that your on your Twitch stream, your mic is off. No, like it's mute. Like you can't hear it.
Whole time. Yes, thank you. Oh my God. Why did I thank you, dude? I appreciate it.
Yeah. I just wanted to jump on and let.
It would eventually someone would have showed up and said something. Dude, I've said so much shit in the last fucking, I don't even know, 10 minutes. Dude, oh my God. Someone could be like, hey, FYI, no one can hear you. Shame. Shame on all of you.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Those guys don't have your back.
Yeah.
I got your back.
Gotcha. Cool, dude. Well, thank you. I'd ask you more, but it sounds like you were just jumping on to let me know about that. So,
No, man, I'm here to hang out for a little bit.
oh, awesome.
I mean, if you're cool with it, yeah, I'd love to sit and chat for a while. Watched some cool shit last night. Wanted to talk about it.
Oh, what'd you watch?
So you probably had a fun time deciphering my late night text messages about Rescue Dawn. So it's this movie about God damn it, what's the guy that plays Batman? He's really
Yeah, Christian Bale, right?
Christian Bale.
Yeah,
Yes.
I looked it up after you told me about it. Hey, hold on one second. There apparently, I meant to say, hey, Greg, I was actually talking to you when my mic was muted. Okay, I'm really sorry. The sculpt is looking cool. I was talking about how hot it was here, and I was like, hey, I hope things are cooler off over in Scotland. Yeah, sorry. And then to the people elsewise, how long does it take to make one mask? Well, this isn't a mask, it's an appliance, and it can take a variety of times depending on what you're trying to do. Are you scuffing it up and smoothing it out for more character in the skin? Yeah, well, I'm still sculpting it, so we're just working on it. Get it ready for work, have a day, keep rocking it. Lisa, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay, Kyle. Yes. So the movie you were saying.
Well, so real quick, like just to touch on the actual like art that you're doing. I mean, I know this, but I kind of want to like throw a question to you to just kind of explain to the audience. What is the difference between an appliance and a mask? Because what you're sculpting looks like a mask. Like it looks like something that I could wear.
Okay.
But why will I not be able to comfortably wear the thing that you're sculpting?
So generally speaking, and everyone's going to have their own definitions. If you use the word mask, I mean, you can talk about masks in Photoshop. You can talk about masks in reference to Mortal Kombat characters. You can talk about masks in reference to Halloween costumes. So general rule when it comes to special effects or sculpting, mold making, yada, 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 a mask is generally something that is almost like a one, quote unquote, one size fits all, right? So if I were to have a whole head and I were to make a latex mask, that would fit. Well, it wouldn't fit well, but it would fit anyone, right? They're usually big and bulky and they sit strangely, right? Yeah. That's
like
a mask.
That you buy from Target.
Yeah. Spirit Halloween shit like that, right? And then you would have another type of mask is like silicone masks, right? Those fit better, but they're still one size fits all. An appliance, generally speaking, refers to something that you're sculpting to fit someone specifically. I could take this off, but it's designed, I could take this and put it on someone else, but you're not supposed to be putting it on someone else. It's sculpted to fit one person, and that's it. So, but I mean, in the broadest sense of literally breaking down the definition of the word mask, you could probably call this a mask. You know what I mean? It would be a mask being worn for one person, but I mean, masks can be custom, sure, you know?
Yeah. But also it's it's worth saying that, as like a anyone who's kind of curious about getting into anything special effects, actors don't wear masks. They wear appliances because the thing that they're wearing is custom fitted to their exact face.
Yeah,
Right?
generally speaking, that's true. Obviously, there are circumstances like I think
Like Scream.
a
Yeah.
famous thing, and this is done pretty often. If you look at big enough movies, but like say, I think you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, right? Like any of them?
I have not. Yeah,
Okay,
actually, I
so
have not
yeah,
seen the Lord of the Rings.
so in the OG Lord of the Rings, I mean, while CGI was still used a crap ton, right? They still, for like some of the battle scenes where they had to come up with hundreds of orcs, like unless they were hero orcs, they were given generic masks to wear.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So
Okay.
because they still needed some orcish characteristics on those
Right.
people. If you were to stop and like zoom in on some of those orcs and like really look at it, you'd be like, oh yeah, that looks funky. But they're extras, right? So you're
Right.
not really
Yeah.
paying attention to them. Unless you were like a hero character or someone who was very much in focus in the foreground, you didn't have a ton of makeup applied. You had like a generic quote unquote mask. And there's definitely masks that blend the line between what is an appliance and what is a mask. I think silicone masks kind of do that because if you make a custom silicone mask to fit someone, it's gonna be so freaking tight that basically it's probably already a like almost like a pseudo appliance, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's
So
closer to being an appliance than it is a one size fits all mask.
yeah, but then you talk to like our lovely coworker Jeff, you know, like when he makes appliances for people, um, like there's a couple of people he makes like cosplay appliances for, that and he will literally sculpt the appliance on a life cast of his own face. So there's and
Oh.
then because the person that's wearing it has close enough features to his own face, then it's not that big of an issue, right? So like if you've ever noticed
Right.
when you go to like a Halloween store like Spirit Halloween, you can still find appliances and without thinking about it, really, those are sculpted on like a generic averaged out face
Oh, right. Right. Yeah.
in hopes to apply to the largest population, right? So even
Yeah.
masks and appliances have a little bit of wiggle room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Nice. Yeah, I just felt like that would be like some good information to touch on.
yeah,
Uh, because mask appliance. Who knows? What's the big deal? Like
yeah. I gotcha. Yeah. So otherwise, man, how's your weekend going?
pretty good. Just hanging with my pets. Yeah, so this fucking this movie, right? Um, so I had recommended it to you, but I don't know how into war movies you are. Like I don't know how into like war movies you are. But this is a pretty good movie about like Vietnam prisoners of war.
It's like a
I
it's
you
like
gotta
a it's
be
like a POW movie.
right, yeah, and you gotta be like you. So with every fucking war movie that you watch, you have to be really careful. Like you have to tread lightly because I
Sorry.
would say probably like 7 times out of 10 it's propaganda. Like it really rides the fine line of like propaganda when it comes to like the Americans' involvement in whatever war that this movie is
It's a life cast of
like written about.
Kai,
But this one was pretty
who's a
good. I
friend who's
think they
visiting
kind
me
of
for
like
the summer. To
puffed
answer your
up
question,
the main
Greg.
character a little bit more than he was because the movie is based on a true story. This guy named Dieter Dangler.
I'm more
He
interested.
was
Wait,
a
hold on a second. I'm more interested in how you found this. I'm not gonna lie. There's like 8 million war films, right? So what,
oh yeah.
like, why, like, good and bad, shitty, well made, poorly made, different languages. What made you watch this one?
So this is kind of embarrassing. But I am a slut for movie trailers, but
Uh-oh.
not just okay. I got to take that back. Let's reverse for a second. Not movie trailers, movie clips.
Oh, okay.
When
Yeah.
I get on YouTube and there's like a compilation of movie clips, right?
Yeah.
If there's a movie that I'm just like, oh, that looks badass,
Yeah.
I will, like literally in that moment, scroll over to Google, find out where I can stream it or where I can rent it, and then just rent it and watch it right now.
I'm not gonna
like
lie,
that's
I
like,
very much have done the same thing, so no worries there. Like the
Yeah.
people that literally either A, review certain movies or movie scenes, and so you only get to see a scene of it and you're like, what fucking movie was that?
Dude,
and in my
you
case,
get
I'm like,
jazzed up.
well, yeah, well, for me, it's like, I was like, I'm into movies. So when I find out that there's some movie that has some badass scene that I didn't know about, for me, it's a challenge. It's like, hold on, I should
Yeah.
fucking know about what fucking movie this is. I was alive
Yeah.
during that period. I was watching movies
Yeah.
during that period. What the fuck movie is this and why didn't I hear about it? You know? Like
Yeah.
that's how I go. But yeah.
Yeah, it's usually like I'm really into like, for lack of better words, like badass heroicism scenes.
Okay.
So like if someone were to like Clockwork Orange me with just like badass clips from movies, they would probably have all of my money. Because like that's like the quickest way to get me to go watch a movie is for me to stumble upon a, like, 10 to 60-second clip of a really badass or heroic part of a movie, and that specific like little instance in the movie will make me go rent or like watch or stream the movie. And so yeah, I was just like scrolling YouTube shorts, and then there was this thing, there was this guy, like, for, I think YouTube shorts is only like a minute 20 maybe,
Something like that, yeah.
and there was this guy that was like dissecting it, like he was like explaining what was happening in this one scene, and without like, I'm not spoiling anything, because obviously it's it's the Vietnam War, we've all heard about it, we know
we know how it ends.
like, we know how it ends, and we also know how like shitty the POWs were like treated and whatnot. But it was this scene where the main character, Dieter Dangler,
Dangler?
That's his real name. That's like the real guy's name is Dieter Dangler.
All right, I'm sorry, Mr. Dieter or Mr. Dangler. I'm sorry I laughed at your name.
Yeah, show some respect, dude. What the fuck, man? This guy...
I'm sorry, that sounds like a character from Boogie Nights, Dieter Dangler.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Dieter Swinging Penis, he was in this, so he's in this POW camp, and like the part that like really caught my attention was that occasionally the guards were, because even the guards in the POW encampments were starved. Like they weren't treated well either. Like even like the soldiers, like the Viet Cong soldiers that were watching over the prisoners, were also like just like one slight step above being a prisoner themselves. Their life wasn't great either. But occasionally they were allowed to eat rice.
Okay, gotcha.
And so the guards would eat rice during lunch, and then Dieter would go and like, at the leftovers of the rice, like the cooked rice kernels or grains, he would take them and pick them up with his fingers and stuff them in his lips, and he'd stuff them up in his cheeks and his lips. And then he created this little bamboo compartment in his shit bucket that they were allotted. Like every prisoner was allotted like a large bamboo.
Their
chute.
very own shit bucket. That's pretty nice. How kind of them.
Yeah. It's very kind of them. And they were like, it was like this large bamboo chute that was fashioned for you to like shit in, so you didn't have to shit in your room if you didn't want to. Some people did, but if you didn't want to, you could just shit in this little tube, and then they would empty it. And he had like hollowed out the bottom of it and then made like a cap for it. And like every time that he had the chance to like steal like 10 to 12 little grains of rice, he would stuff them in his lips and save them in this little compartment under his shit bucket, because no one would think to look in the shit bucket.
Okay, but then, why? Why is he saving little chunks of rice in a poop bucket?
Because the whole arc of this movie is that So he becomes a prisoner of war, and immediately is like, I'm gonna escape. I'm getting out of this bunker. Like, I'm out. And so he immediately goes into escape mode. And so he's saving food. He's hiding this like food, and eventually, like throughout the, I think he's like there for a year or two. He like just in like like over a year or two, this like guy like just saves up like basically like a large fistful of rice for his food rations to escape
Okay.
by like grabbing the scraps out of the dirt and on the table, stuffing them in his cheeks to hide them.
Wait. This is just
And
so
then
that once he makes his escape, he has food to eat, right?
he has food to eat.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. I'm with you now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't explain that very well. But yeah, dude, it's really it's a really interesting movie because it has a lot of aspects of. So you've got this guy who becomes a prisoner, and he shows up, and there's a group of like 6 people. Yeah, I think it's 6 people in this one prison encampment, and
This is based on a true story too, right? I'm guessing.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
And he starts talking about wanting to escape, and then there's this like one guy, Gene, and he's like, no dude, you're not going to escape. I'm not going to let you escape, because if you try to escape, they'll kill me, and I'm not going to let you escape. If you try to run, I'll scream.
Well,
I'll rat you out if you try to escape, kind of thing.
Gene sounds like an
And, like,
asshole.
Dude, and it's this really cool, like, it's this really interesting what would you call it, like a social experiment interaction kind of thing of like, everyone's a prisoner, but some of them are really good prisoners. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like, some
Wait,
of them
good
are
and-
really good
good
at
and-
being prisoners.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Like,
yeah.
they would rather be a prisoner than risk their lives trying to be free.
Oh, so
Right.
they're actually content and or happy being a prisoner.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And so he's like, and I really wish in the movie that they played a little bit more into that aspect of him being like, no, dude, I don't want you to try to escape because it's going to make our lives worse. Instead of being like, all right, let's all escape together, kind of thing. He was just kind of like, no, I'm not going to let you escape.
When did you say this movie came out?
So this movie came out in 2006.
Okay, so this would have been around Christian Bale's like The Machinist movie. Did you ever see that?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So he was already like bone thin and like
Yeah.
real fucking like sinewy, and you could see his ribs and shit.
Yeah. I don't know. So yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of The Machinist, I think is what it's called, maybe. But,
yeah, where he's the hitman or whatever.
I don't think he's a hitman. Is he a hitman? Is that what it is?
I haven't seen it. I've never seen
okay.
it. I've only seen like clips of it, but you know.
No, it's a movie. It's like a trippy fucking like dude losing his mind type of movie, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I might watch it today, because I love Christian Bale. Like, ever since fucking, oh dude, I just lost it. What's the goddamn movie that he's in where he's the like the Wall Street guy?
Oh, American Psycho?
American Psycho, yeah. Ever since I watched that was like my first Christian Bale movie.
What,
Ever
you've
since
never
I
seen
watched
any of the
that-
Batman movies?
No.
Dude.
No, I've never
Something's
been
wrong
into
with you, man.
superhero stuff. Like, superhero stuff doesn't really,
It's not
like,
super.
get my
Have you
fun.
even seen the trailer for like The Dark Knight?
No.
Dude.
I know is that the one where he has like the really cool car, or is that a different one?
They're all 3 of those movies. Dude, go watch The Dark Knight, because this is not like superhero movie like Iron Man or any of the Marvel. Like, these are dark tellings of the Batman shit. You know? Like,
okay.
it's I can't believe you've never seen these movies. What do you live under a fucking rock?
Yes, dude, we talked about this. This year has been my cinema blossom, because I've watched more movies this year than I have in my entire fucking life. I'm
Jesus.
serious. Like, I'm not joking.
Okay.
Because being around you, Jeff, Sean, everyone around me is like fucking cinephiles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have nothing to add to this conversation. So I should probably start watching some fucking movies.
Yeah.
And so like I made like a conscious effort to be like, okay, cool. If I have free time, I'm gonna watch a movie.
Right.
And so I like started. I've been watching movies like fucking crazy, dude. Like one of the common phrases around my house is I'll like go to my fiance and be like, hey, I figured out which movie I'm watching tonight. Don't bug me. And then I'll just go and like watch the movie, because I'm always like, okay, cool. It's like Friday night. I can watch a movie. So what movie am I gonna watch? And then I'll try and find a movie that I want to watch and then watch that movie. But yeah, I haven't seen a lot of like I haven't seen any of like the classics or
Well, it's weird because like I mean don't get me wrong, like there's tons of movies out there that I haven't seen even, but I would say like there's certain movies almost like I would say like the general populace just assumes people have seen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna ask, like, have you seen Jaws?
If I did, I don't remember much of it. But I've seen clips. I watched Jaws 2.
You've watched Jaws 2, but you haven't seen the original Jaws?
Well, because it was just on TV. Like I was
Dark
on
Knight
vacation,
is amazing.
and
yeah,
and it was just like on TV. Like I was on vacation with my aunt and uncle, and they were like, "Oh, we're just gonna turn on the TV," and it was just kind of like on the TV, and I was just drinking and like just watching it whenever I wanted to.
What up,
and so
Dragon?
I haven't even seen like a lot of Jaws 2.
Well, it doesn't matter. I literally don't know anything about the Jaws sequels because you don't need to. They're garbage, like in every way, shape, or form. Like, don't watch the sequels.
How can you say that if you haven't seen it?
No, I've seen them all. I don't, but they're so like not rememberable that like just don't even bother. Yeah. Someone commented, and I actually think that's a really good point. It's like I envy him being able to see that movie for the first time. Yeah, dude. Like because you've seen so few movies, like it is almost enviable. Like you get to go and experience like the shit that I experienced even at a young age, right? So I like my first time watching Jaws.
Yeah.
I was very little. Like I wouldn't be surprised if I watched Jaws before I remembered watching movies. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like by the time I
like
finally,
you were like very impressionable age.
yeah, exactly. No, the Jaws shark isn't that scary at all. It's not about whether or not even the shark is that good, but Jaws kind of, well, one, Jaws cemented Steven Spielberg's career. Like, so no matter what Steven Spielberg has done since, like, I'm pretty sure, I mean, there was obviously Duel, which there's even some interlinking going on between Duel and Jaws. But was Born on 4th of July before or after Jaws? I don't know. But either way, Jaws definitely cemented Steven Spielberg. And as far as like one of the greatest quote unquote filmmakers of all time, seeing kind of the genesis of that is, I feel, a little bit of a must. I'm not even saying that Jaws in whole is like the best movie ever made, but I'm pretty sure there's some conspiracy level shit out there that will make it so that Jaws is never remade. For a movie that is as popular as Jaws was, and how everyone loves fucking sharks and shit like that, there has never been a remake of Jaws. There have been 8 billion types of other shark movies, but no one has actually remade Peter Benchley's Jaws, right? So I think there's literally some creepy conspiracy level shit that in Hollywood you are not allowed ever to even maybe like utter the idea of remaking Jaws.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the guy that helped us fake the moon landing. Of course he's got a little power.
Wait a minute. I thought it was fucking no, dude, it's supposed to be Kubrick that helped us fake the moon landing. As far as
is that the one?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You don't even know the difference between Kubrick and Steven Spielberg, bro?
No, I do. Kubrick was Shining.
They changed the name to Meg. Dude, Meg
Kubrick
was like garbage. I liked the book. I liked Meg. I liked The Trench, and they just done and went and fucked it all up. But
dude, fucking, you know what? Eat my ass, dude. Fucking Stanley Kubrick, fucking Steven Spielberg. It's the same person.
Absolutely not, dude. Absolutely not. Oh, interesting. I got a tidbit of info from chat. I don't even know if it totally makes sense, but I don't even know if I know this, but Jaws also created the idea of summer blockbuster.
Oh, like summer movies, like movies that come out
Yeah,
like
during the summer. Yeah. Yeah, no, the whole idea, like for example, we got Barbie and Oppenheimer this weekend, which I actually have been fighting the urge to go to a theater and see Oppenheimer because I really want to see it. But
I want to watch both.
I don't need to see fucking Barbie. I don't give a shit about Barbie.
Dude,
but
no, hear me out. Listen, hear me out. From what I've heard, it's actually a pretty decent movie because I guess the idea of the movie, I have seen nothing about it. I haven't seen any trailers. I've just talked to people that are also like, that have either seen it or talking about it. But apparently, this movie is about Barbie, who leaves Barbie Land. Like she's like, I don't want this life anymore. I want to go live with the regular people. And then all the other Barbie characters are like, no, you have to come back to our world. And it's like this fucking leaving a cult kind of like movie, but it's all dressed in pink and flowers.
Yes, that nothing about that sounds interesting to me. All right, if they want to make a Barbie movie, all right, here's what I want them to do. I want them to remake Taxi Driver, but with Barbie. That's like, they want me to see a Barbie movie. That's what I need. Okay. I don't give two shits about Barbie. I never collected Barbies. So that fandom, I don't give a shit about. There's no nostalgia there. I don't give a fuck about a single actor that's in those movies, like at all. They are way too bright. It's all CGI. I like acting in a movie like Barbie isn't even like a standard that someone has to live up to as an actor. You know, you don't say, oh, best actor goes to, you know, the person who played Barbie. Okay. Like, you
Margot Robbie. Okay.
Like it's never, so it's not worth it going to see for any type of acting. It's not worth it going to see it for any like cinematography, because it's all just bright CGI garbage. It's not like, oh, there was like, oh, how this artist like really spent time thinking about this particular shot or something like that, you know, like and I don't always need these things, but I definitely need like one of them. All the other things, like,
if you're gonna,
sorry, no, I was just gonna say, all other things equal, if like, for example, I will watch a movie that has every reason to be a piece of shit, as long as even there is the nostalgic value. Like the nostalgic value is enough to drive me there, but the nostalgic value of Barbie doesn't mean shit to me. Like, I don't care. Yeah. I don't care about Barbie. I always thought Barbie was like, dumb.
What's up, Whimsical Woods? A little bit of like what I was gonna say of like, if you're gonna make a movie that face value is silly, have some sort of artistic depth to it.
I mean, I guess, and maybe, you know what, maybe
that's
movie,
what you said. Like that's basically what you said was like, you know, they're not thinking about the shots, they're not thinking about the like the color correction, the photo editing. Like, they're not thinking about.
I'm hesitant saying artistic depth, because I'm not denying that there isn't a sense of creativity involved in the individual people who helped make the Barbie movie. But that's not enough for me. Like, that's not that doesn't qualify me spending any amount of time watching that movie. Like, let me give you an example. Okay, this is a perfect example. I watched the new Flash movie the other night. I paid $20 to rent this movie. Okay. All right. I've
only heard bad things about this.
No, hear me out. Okay. So the new Flash movie, first of all, I don't give two fucks about the Flash. The only Flash I liked was in Mortal Kombat versus DC. And you got to just beat the other Mortal Kombat characters up as the Flash. Okay. Beyond that, I don't give two shits about the Flash. But you know what the Flash did? Two things. Brought back Michael Keaton as Batman. Right? Okay. And there's like, and he's not a small part of the movie. He's not a huge part of the movie, but he's basically like a co-star. They brought back the music from the Tim Burton Batmans. They brought back fucking Michael Shannon as Zod from Man of Steel. And I don't like any goddamn DC superhero movies, and I've watched most of them. But goddamn fucking Zack Snyder's Man of Steel is the best Superman movie ever made. And Michael Shannon played Zod. They brought him back. Dude, I'm not even going to give too much away, but they brought back like a lot of characters because this is their version of like the multiverse situation to answer
Okay.
some of these problems. I don't give two shits about the Flash. Furthermore, the guy who plays the Flash, from my understand it, is a criminal. Like from like
Yeah.
what I know, I don't give two fucks about that. I watched that movie. I paid $20 for 2.5 hours of entertainment, of which I was only entertained by approximately 45 minutes. And they don't even do the Flash thing well. Because here's the thing, X-Men did it better with fucking Quicksilver, okay? I don't give two shits about the Flash. And I still watched that movie because all I cared about was Michael Keaton as Batman. So nostalgia will drive me to spend money on a film. And it can even save a film, all else, equal, right? But
Okay.
I Barbie doesn't, for me, Barbie doesn't even have that. And if I'm gonna sit in a movie theater and tolerate fucking randos and OFPs, then I need to have something.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been like seeing like that's like the only thing of like because like I've actually given it like some serious thought about wanting to go see the Barbie movie. But I can't actually bring myself to do it because of the other people I'm gonna be around.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather just I would pay $20.
Well,
I would pay more than a movie ticket to just stream it on my phone.
Right. So
Like,
you're probably referring to the type of people. I'm just referring to people in general. Like, I hate people. I don't want to be around a bunch of people. And honestly, whether it be riding on an airplane or on a bus or going to a movie theater, any sense of expectation of how you're supposed to fucking act inside said establishments or events has gone out the window. So I have no interest at all in being stuck in a black room with 200 other people that are just idiots. I'm good.
Yeah.
You don't even own a TV? I get my entertainment from watching my neighbors kill each other? What? Damn. I mean, it does sound like it could be entertaining. There's certainly some R-rated entertainment, but yeah. So no,
Were you talking to me about the TV?
No, someone said like well, Whimsical Wood said I don't even own a TV. I get my entertainment from watching my neighbors kill each other.
Fucking represent. I don't own a TV either.
Do you really not?
No.
Oh, so you just watch it on like the computer and stuff on your phone?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hey, I'm down for that. But nowadays it's like, oh, I don't own a TV, but I know for a fact you own at least you have 2 computers in your house that have monitors. I mean, those are essential.
Oh yeah, no,
TVs,
we've got like 2 iPads, phones, computers. Like, it's just we don't have space or the want for like an
actual TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, Oppenheimer looks really good, and I will give Christopher Nolan my money. The only movie I think that I haven't seen of his is Tenet. And I still don't really give a shit about seeing it, to be honest. The story, again, doesn't really... So there's another example. Even if a movie has like a really great director and like creative minds behind it, if there's not enough there to spark me at all, then yeah, I'm not interested.
Gotcha.
Other people,
Yeah,
what
I've
a bunch
seen
of bastards. Yeah, exactly. I know, right? It's true.
I seen this thing that was showing the film of Oppenheimer. Have you seen this?
Wait, showing the film? What do you mean? The actual? Yeah,
Like
well, I heard that they
physical...
had shot Oppenheimer on actual film versus digital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like fucking like 16 miles long or some shit like that.
Well, the goddamn movie is like 3.5 hours long. Yeah, or 2.5 hours. 3.5? It's something like that. Yeah, I tried watching Subspecies 5 and it wasn't performing well. Wait, what? Daryl Watkins, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it.
It's 11 miles.
The film?
The film itself is 11 miles long.
Well, I mean, that makes sense.
That's crazy, dude.
Is it really that crazy? I mean, I'm pretty sure
for someone who doesn't know anything about film and like
does it say what it was shot?
Like analog like photography.
Right. Does it say what millimeter it was shot in? I'm curious.
Let's find out.
It must say. Because you could literally just do the math. Well, I guess you couldn't, because I suppose there could be certain times in areas in the film where they were shooting at a higher film rate for slow-mo and stuff 35. Like that. It was 35. Okay, so... How many millimeters in a mile?
Hang on. We got this. Chat GPT. No, I'm kidding. How many millimeters in 11 miles?
No, just do 1 mile, because it's gonna be a huge fucking number if you do 11. It's gonna be a huge number even if you do 1 mile. It might be billions. I literally have no idea.
1,609,344 millimeters in 1 mile.
Okay, all right. So divide that by 35.
God damn it.
Out this year, Lal, the first 3 are great. I don't even know what subspecies is. Is that a real movie? Are you guys you messing with me? I've never heard of this film.
It's just under 46,000.
46,000 frames. And then let's assume, we're just going to round to 30. Assume they shot most of it. No, wait. No. Most film is shot at, is it, oh my God.
Like 23.4.
23. Just do by 23. So divide that by 23. That'll give you the seconds, right?
1,999.
Divide that by 60.
33.
1 mile for every half hour. Basically, right? It was shot. Right. Wait, was it shot? Greg's saying 70 millimeter. It was shot 70 millimeter.
Was it?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm doing this on the fly, so like
right,
someone probably knows more than I do.
Right. But I mean, that would say, yeah. So, a half an hour is a mile. How many miles did you say it was? You said it was 11 miles, right?
11, yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, there is probably plenty of scenes where they shot like 60. They might have shot the whole fucking thing at 60 FPS. IMAX. Oh, it was shot for IMAX. That's right.
Right.
IMAX is 70 millimeter, but they might have struck 35 prints for non-IMAX theaters.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but that does make a little bit more sense. If it's for IMAX that you saw what you saw, that's literally doubling the length of each individual frame.
Okay.
Right.
So it's a mile for every hour.
No,
right?
No, it would be 2 miles it would be 2 miles for a half hour. So that means 4 miles an hour. And that's assuming at like, what is that? 23 frames, right? Or 24 FPS. Oh, that's true. Yeah, 24 You could we rounded down. You could have rounded it up, yeah. Look at us doing math and shit, you know?
Oh, that makes sense, man. It's an 11-hour movie. My fucking dumbass.
It's an 11-mile movie.
Dude, how cool would it be if like there's like an alternate timeline where that's how we like broadcast the runtime for movies. It's like, how long is this movie? 6 miles.
It's funny you mentioned that. Lindsay and I actually got into a conversation, something similar to this the other night, about light speed. And I was like, wait a minute. So light speed is a reference of speed or time.
No,
but it's
a reference of distance.
But it's both. It's also time.
No, it's distance.
Okay. All right, here we go. This is what I'm talking about.
Light speed is...
So, all right. So light speed, correct me if I'm wrong, is the how far...
Oh, no, sorry. What the fuck? No. Well, I'm thinking of light years.
Well, yeah, sorry. Both. That's how we got into this conversation, was light years, actually. Okay, light years is distance. It's how far light travels in the span. Is it an hour?
It's a year.
A year, right. I'm sorry. Duh. Yeah. How far light travels in a year? Like, there's light minutes, too, right? There's literally how far light travels in a minute, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Right? But that's also technically a time reference, because you're giving year as the definition. You're giving hour and minute as the definition. Right? So if something was, again, 23 light years away, that means that if you could travel at the speed of light, it's also 23 years away, right? Or no?
Yes, but that's not what it's used for as a measurement tool.
Right.
Like that's not what it like in the unit of measurement. It's not used to like assume that something is traveling at the speed of light. It's just saying like this is how far away something is because that's
No,
I'm
it
assuming
is
the
absolutely making that assumption. It's part of that requirement. If you
well,
say
yes,
something is
yeah, yeah,
23
yeah.
light years away, you
Right,
are
yeah.
assuming that the something is, well, no, I guess you're right. It is saying that it's that distance. You're right. It is
Right,
saying it's, yeah.
but the thing that's traveling at light speed is light. It's a photon that's
Right.
traveling. So if you want to break it down into like the fucking nitty gritty, then yes, we're assuming that there is technically something traveling at that speed, and it takes 23 years to get 23 light years away.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what was your like? What did you guys?
Well, that's all we were talking about was just the idea that it's two things. It might be used scientifically to reference distance, right? Well, I forget how we got on the topic. I think we were looking up how far away certain things were in our galaxy or universe and stuff. And it was like this many light years. I'm like, it's really fucking annoying that people like scientists. I mean, I understand why they do it because scientists, like, numbers to them are like breathing to us. So I understand why to them they're like, oh well, a light year is technically this many blah, and I can, like, a scientist might be able to conceptualize how far a light year is, but I can't. Right. So when someone says, oh, the nearest thing is this many light years away, I'm like, and it's interesting in science, they do this all the time. They use, when you're talking about like space exploration and shit, they're always talking about fucking light years. And it's like, I appreciate it. I understand why you guys do this, but you do realize this article is being read by a majority of people that don't know how fucking far a light year is.
But like the thing is like if you took light years and replaced it with kilometers or miles.
Oh no, we did.
The number would be ridiculous.
Yeah. Is it
would be so
I think it's trillions. I'm pretty sure.
And so what you would have to do is then instead of what you would see is 23 light years, instead you would see like 17 to the second x5
yes
power.
That's actually yes.
And it's like and you don't understand it either.
Yeah,
like,
but I would also, but
I
will say this, I have a better understanding if someone said, what was it 35 trillion or 35 billion miles? I looked it up and like during this conversation, and believe it or not, that means more to me than someone saying a light year.
Right, it's easier to understand.
No, I'm not even saying
billion.
easier. That's a huge fucking number. I'm not,
No, it is easier to understand because like if someone was like, oh, it's 0.6 light years away. I don't know what the fuck that means, but if they were like, it's 12 million miles away, I'd be like, cool, I can conceptualize 12 million in my head.
Yeah.
I know what that number means.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that when we got into the discussion because of that, and then I was like, wait a minute, so like a light year is a distance, but because we're talking about a year, we're also talking about like I don't know, maybe I'm the only person that does this, but I feel like when we talk about how far something is away, like let's say I was like, hey Kyle, come to the shop, and you're taking into consideration how far you have to travel to do that. I don't think most people only think, matter of fact, I don't think most people think about the mileage. I think they think about the time that it takes to get that far. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like if you were planning out a day,
time
a trip,
definitely more relevant.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And relative. Anyways, so I feel like that's the part that gets me is like, okay, it's a light year away. Really, again, if we're all assuming that this thing is moving at the speed of light, that means that if something is 800 light years away or something, that's 800 years. Assuming you can move as fast as you can, because correct me if I'm wrong, within like science, generally speaking, light speed is the short of black holes, like the fastest hypothetical speed to travel, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a fucking physicist, but I'm pretty sure that's true because like there's no way to fucking I don't think there's anything faster than the speed of light.
Yeah. And then we got into a whole other conversation about aliens, and we were talking about the chances that aliens, if they exist, or to whatever extent they exist, are more likely to be like alternate dimension beings, right? And then I started thinking, I was like, so you talk to an average person and you talk about aliens, you talk about whatever. Again, I always like resort back to like colloquially, I can never say that fucking word, colloquially speaking, you know. I was thinking, I was like, so you know how easy or how much simpler it would be to believe that there were like fourth dimension or fifth dimension creatures and shit like that could experience all of that, if we had evidence that any creature experienced two dimensions, right? You would think that we should be able to like, that it would be easy, like it would be easier to believe that if we could witness someone like even a simplified creature, like, and Lindsay brought up a good point. She said, well, just because, like, for example, like amoebas and shit like that, they probably are living in a third dimension, right? They absolutely are, right? They absolutely are, right? Yeah. But if they're not aware of it, that's a different thing. Just because you are, just because
that goes into a whole different thing, man. That goes into like, I mean, like, squirrels don't know that they're living in three dimensions, but like they're clearly three-dimensional. You know what I mean? Like, awareness is only like a
right, but wouldn't that be but wouldn't that be also applicable to, say, like a fourth dimension creature that could experience, come, or quote unquote come into a third dimension? Like, is it possible that if a human being, even though we are, you know, classically three-dimensional creatures,
we are,
right, does it mean that if we could become fully aware, which, I mean, the fourth dimension is time, at least that's where we're settling right now, okay?
Yeah.
Right, but if we could manipulate that, doesn't mean that we're technically becoming fourth dimensional creatures, right?
Well, so that's kind of like the thing that that sucks about theorizing about higher dimensions, is that literally everything that we come to a conclusion about is just conjecture and theory. Like, we literally cannot understand what the fourth dimension is. There's like, I'm like 100% literally impossible for us to even understand what the next dimension.
That sounds pretty sounds like some black and white thinking, if you ask me. All right, let me ask you this.
It's pretty fucking clear.
Okay, let me ask you something. Could we create something that could understand it?
No.
It's impossible for us to create a supercomputer now or in the future that could understand, calculate, and like figure it out. We are limited.
Because anything that we create is created in the third dimension. There's nothing that will go up. You can only look down in dimensions. That's the fucking sad thing when you start getting into like theoretical physics and shit like that.
Right.
It's like,
I haven't put it sounds like you put a lot more thought into this than I have, but I feel like if I did, like, I feel like there's examples of us.
Oh, we can come up with images and ideas about what a fourth dimension might look like, but we can still only see what those ideas and thoughts in three dimensions. Like, we'll never ever be, even if, okay, I'll tell you what.
But yeah, but I even asked you, but hold on, but I even asked you if there was a way for us to create something that could.
Okay.
Like, and you said no. And so that.
Let's say that you could. Even if you could create.
It would be useless.
An interdimensionally traveling creature or computer, right?
Yeah.
And it actually successfully, and somehow we can prove it, goes to the fourth dimension. When it comes back to tell us what it saw, we'll only understand what it's saying in three dimensions. We can't understand the fourth dimension. You know what I mean? Like, even if it like snapped a photo or something, or some sort of like moment capture and brought it back, we would only be seeing it in the third dimension.
If we saw it at all.
If we saw it at all, right?
Yeah.
Because you can only look down. I can only look at. I can look at two dimensions. Yeah. I can't experience two-dimensional like beings, but I can look at them. I can look at one-dimensional beings. But I can't experience.
No, hold on. You don't even know if you can do that. I already brought up the point that you can't. that we don't know of beings that are two-dimensional beings. You're saying we can look down,
beings.
but like
I'm saying I can look into the second dimension. I can't. There's not. There might or might not be beings. I can't get in there to see.
Yeah.
I can only look. Right. Like when you look at a picture, when you look at a drawing, that's a two-dimensional representation of the third dimension. Like you're looking at it.
Okay, but then by then, and I'm just disagreeing. I don't know a ton about this, so I'm going off of like instinct, right? Or like not even instinct, but like
you're just taking devil's advocate.
Yeah. Well, no, because I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. There's a lot of theories, but I don't know enough to sound remotely educated on this. But I would say this. By that definition, so you've heard the idea that like a lot of alien sightings could literally be like interdimensional beings. Have you heard this idea?
Yes.
Okay. But by what you're saying, that's absolutely not possible, because if they are a higher dimension, then there'd be no way we'd ever even be able to either understand. Okay, but all right, here, like take another idea. If you take a piece of paper and you draw a character on it, you are, whether you understand what you're doing to the existence of a second dimension, you are manipulating the second dimension.
Nope. I'm manipulating the third dimension because that's where I exist.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Hold on a second. Time versus distance weird. When I moved to the UK, I realized that in America, 100 years is a long time and 100 miles isn't far to travel. But here, 100 years is nothing and 100 miles is a long way. Interesting. That's true. Because every country is very, very small. The U.S. is friggin' huge, you know? That's a good point, yeah. But everything in Europe is old. Like, not everything, but a ton of shit in Europe is old as fuck, you know?
Right, yeah. Like, they're like, yeah, this building here was built 1,000 years ago. And then here in America, they're like, yeah, this was built 50 years ago.
Or 100 years ago,
yeah. That's kind of cool. I like that.
But anyways, yeah, so I don't know. I really don't have a generalized opinion about like aliens, but I like the idea of it being like interdimensional. But you're saying that's
right. Well,
your belief is that it's not possible.
But the idea is that, let's say they are fourth dimensional beings, right?
Right.
If they came into our dimension, they would have to assume a third dimensional avatar, right? Like what we're seeing is not a fourth dimensional being. We're seeing a third dimensional avatar of a fourth dimensional being. Does that make sense?
If we saw it, you mean?
Yeah, if a fourth dimensional being were able to somehow break the barrier into the third dimension, even if like they like just stuck their hand through a portal into the third dimension,
right?
They're not a fourth dimensional being when they come into the third dimension, right? Like it's just like a snapshot. Like dude, it actually gets
okay.
Really
so how do we do that then?
How do we do what?
How do we go? You say so. By your theory, we can go down, right? So let's.
No, we can look down.
So why
we can't go down? We can look.
So why do you assume that a fourth dimension could go to a third dimension?
I'm not saying. I'm saying that they probably can't. I'm saying if they could.
Oh,
like
okay.
I don't think that they can go down.
So would you make that same rule that if we could, that's how it would be? We'd be taking on like any of our whatever would be taking on some type of two-dimensional characteristics that would be unchangeable.
Like there's like tons of I know it's kind of silly, but like there's tons of cartoons that play into this like fun aspect of like, you ever see like the cartoons where like a three-dimensional character goes to a two-dimensional world, and they're like, oh, what the fuck, why do my arms move like this, why does my head not move, why is like they're struggling with the idea that like there's like just a slight of them that exists in this world and not the full third dimensional the three-dimensional aspect of themselves. Like they can only move left and right and up and down. They can't move on the Z axis. You know, it's like if the so there's like a really cool idea to help you sort of conceptualize and imagine what the fourth dimension is.
Oh no,
right?
don't
So
do this. Don't do this. My wife tried to do this to me the other day with like an apple and some slices and things like that. And
no,
I
no,
was like,
no, it's
dude,
not
I
that.
have
It's not
watched,
that.
okay, here's the deal. I have watched like TikTok videos, YouTube videos of people trying to explain what potentially the fourth dimension could look like, and I
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
get lost every time. I'm like,
It's
you guys are on
right.
some acid trip shit that I do not
No,
fucking understand even in the least. And I consider myself a
and
fairly creative, imaginative individual, and I
right, right.
cannot bend my head around like
And
everyone's
what's
ideas.
that right there is the argument as to why there's no way for us to even understand the fourth dimension, because those guys are probably maybe closer than anyone else, right? Like
Right.
those guys that like you're like, I don't even understand what the fuck you're saying.
Yeah.
They're probably closer than anyone else, but only by like 0.000001 in the direction of understanding the fourth dimension. Like
Right.
it's like unfathomable for
Right.
us to figure out what the fuck that actually means, right? We can theorize about it, we can conceptualize what it might be, but we will never understand what it is,
Right. Yeah.
which is sad. Like it's kind of like one of those dark truths of existence of like, there's always this like big thing of like, if there's a will, there's a way.
Okay,
And
but
like
what
everything
about the
is
idea of just like being able to access, because just because we may never access or be able to access or understand the fourth dimension, I mean, there's plenty of theories out there about how there's plenty of goddamn three-dimensional, like, parallel dimensions that we could, if
right.
theoretically we could
Yeah.
figure out, how to get there. So I'm all right.
Right. Like
I
you're
don't,
talking about like multiple universe theory.
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable in that. And even by that, you could say, I think interdimensional beings is kind of a vague term, but that would both apply to beings that could somehow transcend, if it was possible, levels of dimensions. But then it also could theoretically also mean just beings that can go from one type of third dimension to another third dimension. You know what I
That's
mean?
the one. That's the
Interdimensional,
thing.
right? Like alien.
Yes.
Why
Yes.
couldn't it be that there is another third dimensional version of our race, of humans or
There you
whatever,
go.
that regular
Yes.
shows up and fucks with us? That's like a
Yes.
cosmic
Yes.
joke, like
That's
something
the
like that.
thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that I fully fucking believe in the like multiverse theory of like just different universes that are also the exact same thing that's happening right now in this universe,
Right.
but also 1 degree to the right or left, and then they branch off infinitely, right?
Yeah.
Like that idea makes more sense to me than like fourth dimensional beings coming down to the third dimension or whatever.
Yeah, but if you agree that that fourth dimension is time, right? Likely gonna play a role in any type of fucking around we do in other dimensions if we ever get there, right? When you agree to that, the time, that fucking with the fourth dimension is probably kind of like key to a lot of that.
huh?
Isn't fucking
No,
like isn't fucking around even with, I don't know, maybe I'm no, it absolutely is. You probably know more about it than I do, but imagine like black holes. It's time and space that it bends. It's literally fucking
well,
with the fourth dimension.
so it's not. It's fucking with the third dimension. So
In a fourth
like
dimensional
black
way.
sort of, but I mean, yes, but no. Like, so the whole idea of like bending space-time, right? Like we like to say that idea of like you've probably seen the illustration of like,
Yeah, don't.
oh,
Yeah,
like I want to get from point A to point B, I'll just bend the paper and I
Yeah,
can get
yeah,
there
yeah,
immediately.
yeah.
Right, yeah. So all that is doing is fucking with the third dimension. Like that's just bending the third dimension. You're not using the fourth dimension to do that. You're just bending the third dimension.
Oh, okay. I see. I
You're
think I see what you're
You're
saying.
taking the physical aspect of this reality and manipulating it as such, right?
Okay.
Dude, it's crazy, man. I've trust me, man. I've gone down. I've been fucking bonered up for this shit for years. Ever since I was in high school, I was watching all those like crazy.
This is
acid
why
trip
I never
reviews.
watched movies. This is your reason right here. You were too busy looking
Yeah,
up like alternate dimensions and shit.
Well, no, man. If you think about it, movies are just a window into alternate third dimensional
Technically
realities.
2 dimension, really.
Well, they're two-dimensional representational windows of third dimensional alternative realities. Boom. Your mind's blown. I know it is.
No, I'm good, bro.
Okay.
Well, apparently, like there was some other things too, like what was it? There was some picture that we were looking up to that Lindsay was bringing up, and it was like the furthest picture ever taken away, not from Earth.
Oh,
even
the
it was,
James Webb.
yes,
Yeah, the James Webb telescope. Yeah.
and this picture is taken like technically these items that you're seeing in the picture, I think you and I might have even talked about this at some point, are something like 100 billion light years away or some stupid number,
Brilliant.
right? Yeah.
Trillions of light years
And
away.
and the thing about it is that means that there's like there's a significant chance that a ton of them bitches aren't even there anymore. Like right now, they're not there, right? Like they could have exploded,
they could have
or
died
like
a trillion years ago, and we're still seeing the light image of them.
Yes, yeah. And then apparently there's also like multi-universe theories that Lindsay just told me about this. I don't know how I feel about it.
What I was talking about earlier.
Well, no, not like
multi-universe series.
Yeah, but like that outside of our universe, meaning like
there are other like
universes.
Like, think about bubbles.
Yes.
Like there's like a bunch of bubbles in a vat, and every little bubble is its own universe in existence.
Yeah, but it's not like these terms get thrown around a lot. I guess what I'm saying, to be clear, is that they're not necessarily like duplicates of ours or ones that are on like like ours but a different path. They're not necessarily clones or twins even. They're like just legit other universes, doing their own thing.
Right.
And it's like, this is the type of shit, I'm not gonna lie, that literally gives me like, I don't even know what it's called, like existential dread, right?
Yeah.
And here, the part that fucks with me is that there's motherfuckers out there just living in existential dread because they chose to study this as their career. They're just like, it's not even dreadful for us. We just live in La La Land,
Yeah. Like, oh man, I gotta take the trash out today. Did I sweep my kitchen? I don't know. And this guy's like, there's fucking war universes that exist right next to us, and they could blow themselves up at any time and destroy our existence completely. Yeah, dude, that fucking like it's crazy when you start to think of like when you start to get into the I think it's like megalophobia of like the idea of how small.
Yep, that
you
I have that. If that's
if
that's a real thing, I absolutely have that.
Like how tiny and minuscule you are to the actual existence that we are perceiving is insane. And then you think that there's infinitely more of those outside of our existence.
Yeah.
Not only are you minuscule in this existence itself is minuscule in the vast amount of other existences that are out there.
Yeah, no, that's me. That's me right there. Terrified.
Dude,
I don't like thinking. Generally, I don't like thinking about this stuff because it's just like, what a way to make you feel completely pointless.
Yep.
If
there is a God and a devil, this is hell.
Yeah.
The idea of understanding how unimportant you are, that's hell. Like that's what it is.
Well, just even it being generous, how unimportant not just we are as individuals, much less a society, but like how unimportant our galaxy, our planet, our universe really is, much less one of us little fucking amoebas inside of it, Dude, we wouldn't even be amoebas, I'm pretty sure. Like scale-wise, like that's like not even accurate,
Yeah, we would be like quarks.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever gone into like string theory, but like we're like quarks.
I've never dabbled in that. Or by that I mean I've never looked into it enough because, there's just certain things you reach at a certain point in your life. You're just like, you know what? That's for someone else. Someone else gets that. Okay, I'm good. I don't need to.
Dude, that's such a good way to put it. I love that. That's for someone else.
Yeah.
I see it. I acknowledge that it's there, but I'm not gonna pick it up because that's not for me.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's great. Oh well, dude, it was fucking awesome chatting with you.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Hop out there, go do some stuff, and
Probably
maybe
watch some
next time you
movies.
stream, we'll break down some string theory or something.
Solve it for everyone. Yeah, for sure. Cool. Have a great rest of your day, man.
All right, you too, man.
Peace out.
Bye.
Thanks a lot, Jeffrey. And 1-0 down and Johnny Demonic. That's a great name. Thank you guys so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Hope your guys' Saturday is going well. Thank you for all the likes, guys, too. I love seeing those hearts jump up and down. I'm always assuming you guys can hear my buddies when they jump on Discord, but I apologize if you can't, and I'm just randomly talking and shouting at someone that you can't hear the other side of it. Something reminds you of Harry Potter. Yeah, if you guys have ever seen the movie Terrifier, that's what this is based on. There's a character in there, the slasher is called Art the Clown. The antagonist. Yeah. We're about to start doing the smoothing with the brush. After I just kind of finish doing some of these last second little smoothings that like the brush won't help with, right? So debating if we should add a little bit more inside this cheek. Bow, bow. Oh, or, mark up the nose. Bow, bow. Have some whiskey and contemplate my unimportant things. You're welcome. Yeah, that's good. It's good. Am I connected with Hollywood? Hearsay a new Popeye production, really? Yeah, no, I'm not connected to. Well, I mean, I guess I know people there, but I'm not super close to them. No, not connected. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another Popeye movie. I mean, it's only a matter of time, right? I literally wouldn't be surprised with anything with Hollywood nowadays. If they want to make some damn money, they're going to do it. I bet you they already have a Barbie remake underway. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah. Any way to make them bones. Thanks for all those likes, guys. Who knows? Well, maybe we'll make it to 10,000 likes, okay? Enough people out there, you know, breaking their fingers, hitting that like button. I don't even know if I like the Robin Williams Popeye movie. I hope they don't make it. I was never really a big Popeye fan. Was that Mayron? Mayron? Thank you so much for the follow. Affecting my work? No, not affecting me. I'm sure if I was more, you know, like involved with any type of filmmaking, most of my stuff that I do is not directed by that. But I know people that are being affected by it. Any effect on the industry is going to slow things down to some extent. It'll be really interesting to see how this all plays out. Enjoy those new movies that are coming out now, though, because it's going to be, if this continues, well, hell, even if it doesn't continue, it's going to be a bit of a desert when it comes to new content in like anywhere from, you know, 6 months. It's kind of like what happened after COVID or during COVID. You know, right now, close to ish. Like, there's going to be a lack of movies that come out some amount of time later, right? Like, probably next year this time or even later this year. There's going to be just like a reduction of shit coming out because of everything that happened right now. 3,000 likes. Ba-bam. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Watchman, thank you for the follow. Bow, 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 bow. All right, I think we're ready for the alcohol part here. I need a chip brush. Where are all my chip brushes? I know I had some. I might have to run and grab one if I can't find one. Bam. Found one. We're good. Anytime you sculpt something with a big pokey nose, you gotta be careful because it is the part of the sculpture that will keep getting damaged over and over and over again. Damn it. Yeah, that's pretty exposed right there. Debating whether or not we should probably fill that. Hmm. Boom. Look at you guys go. 3.8 thousand likes. Thank you. Ba-ba-bow. Bam, bam, bam. All right, alcohol, isopropyl alcohol time, guys. Sergio, thank you for the follow. Come on. Oh, somehow I missed these. The alcohol is like a solvent a little bit, but alcohol is a very mild solvent, so it can help take away like sculpting tool marks, things like that. There's stronger solvents like terpenoid and things like that. Yeah, for sure. Definitely, if you're sculpting, get some alcohol. It works with polymer clays too. $4,600 likes, guys. Thank you. Your art shows dedication. Keep your passion alive. Praying Poet, thank you very much. Whoa, that was quick. We got it, though. We got it, guys. The wax gave out. The wax gave out, but we saved it. We saved it. Looking smooth. Hey, Glitch, what's up? Goes it? It goes. Chill, you know? This is looking excellent. I'm really happy with it. It came out really nice, yeah. After finding those better reference pictures for the sculpt, it went a lot easier. Yeah. What are you up to? What are you working on right now? Anything fun or just chilling? Just finished listing and posting it. And post. Nice. Awesome. How many postings do you have now? 8. Nice. Looking killer. Thanks. Yeah, it's coming along. It's almost done. We didn't do the bottom teeth. The top teeth came out really nice. They're pretty much done. But bam. But the we haven't done the bottom teeth yet. Doritos? Bow, bow. Now we're just making a mess, spraying little bits of clay everywhere. What was I just thinking? I was like, oh, this area needs to get a little bit more smoothing. Oh, the forehead isn't done. I think we decided we're gonna do silicone for the casting. I didn't want to, but it will work really well. I hate it when these chip brushes start falling apart and just are leaving tons of little hairs behind. It sucks. This is a great way, though, to just kind of like smoothly or like slowly take away and smooth things out. If you go too quick, is this commissioned? No, this is for funsies. If you go too quick using like Turpenoid or something like that, it'll just eat away at everything you've done way too fast. Alcohol just takes it back a little bit slower, you know? Gamer 628 is now following. Thank you for the follow. Hope your Saturday is going well. Ba, ba, ba. Every time, now, Sam, keep in mind, every time I flick this brush on the sculpture, I'm literally throwing like buckshot of micro chunks of clay all over my desk. Okay, so now we'll work on this. We'll work on this side. How was your day? My day's all right. My day's all right. Snacks for the moose ghosts. The moose ghosts? What? Oh, the clay, yeah. So yeah, using the alcohol is better, but it takes more time because you're just taking less off. Boom, 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 boom. I love it when it looks so shiny. It's so cool. Oh, thank you, Jeremiah, and then Sally. Thank you, Kelly with a C. Sorry. Nice. It's coming along. It's coming along real nice, like. That nose. Hell of a schnoz. I think we're going to pull off less of the texture than we had on the original sculpt. I'm kind of digging just this really kind of softer, not as deep texture. Nice. All right, nose and down the center time, I think. All right, so no, we got to focus on the nose now. The nose, I say. Okay, move stuff around a little bit. Okay. We're sculpting an appliance that's supposed to be inspired by and kind of look like the slasher from well, I guess the character's name is Art from the movie Terrifier. Buddy of mine's this is a buddy of mine's life cast, and they're a big Terrifier fans, so we life casted them, and we're like making an appliance that fits them. Hope that answers your question. Isopropyl alcohol helps smooth it out a little bit, but it eats it away at it too. So as we're stippling and smoothing at the same time, you know, it's also leaving behind a very delicate, fine, kind of soft stipple texture as well. Yeah. It tickles to watch. I can see that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll probably do a silicone appliance, I think is kind of what I decided on. Yeah, if we do silicone, we should be able to get a pretty good movement out of any emotions, right? Once it's applied, I hope. How long does it take you to make? We've probably spent 12 hours, I think, sculpting this. Probably maybe a little bit less, like 10 hours. And then the mold making will be done in. We have to do some more stuff with clay for the mold, but the actual mold making process will be pretty short, maybe a couple hours. And then we have the appliance, which I figure is applying the whole makeup and then doing the clown makeup and stuff on it's probably gonna take probably about 4 hours, maybe less, maybe 2 hours, something. So the final look will be pretty quick. And actually, TikTok, here's the deal, TikTok. I'm going to be wrapping up anyways pretty soon. So if you want to keep watching what's left of the stream, go ahead and jump over to Kick, YouTube, or Twitch, creatively_cursed. I'm going to be I'm ending my TikTok stream right now. So I will catch up with you guys in a bit. Hopefully you jump over. Let's see here. Wait, Dale, thank you for the follow. Cute Creator, thank you for the follow. And Trash, thank you for the follow. Always like it when Trash follows. Thank you. I'll catch up with you. I'll catch up with TikTok later. See you guys. Here we go. Bam. Oh man, I don't know if you guys can see this mess that this brushing has created, but it is messy. Yeah, well, this is just clay, so the appliance probably will be single use. We're just gonna do one fun, makeup appliance. It's just for a photo shoot. And then, yeah, we'll probably throw it away. But I mean, I'll have the mold, so if I ever wanted to cast more of them, I could. We're really thin right here. I don't think it matters that much. If we make like a silicone appliance, the thinner this area, say the forehead is, the better, because then if they wrinkle their forehead, it'll be pretty noticeable, you know? Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think that's about it. Yeah, pretty happy. Came out nice. Again, we have the top teeth. I was hoping we would have time to start the bottom teeth today, but I think we're probably going to have to do the bottom teeth tomorrow. But he's basically, I mean, more or less done skis. I'll do one more quick pass with the brush just in this area. I'm seeing a lot of, still some tool marks. Bam, 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 bam. Even if you don't need texture on your sculpt, it's always a good idea to just even put a light texture, so that when the mold is done and you pour your first appliance and you're putting makeup on it, the makeup has something to kind of stick to. So even if you're just doing a really like soft texture, it's still good to try and put something there. Like if you were to get this like say glass smooth, you might run into some problems. Not that you even could with this clay, but
on my mark. 5.
thanks for the follow.
Going down.
Came in right at the end of stream. And even here, I don't know if you guys can see, I think this is a little bit of ultracal showing through near the chin too, so. Bingo, bango, bongo, guys. That's it. It's the last time you guys are going to see him unless we do some mold making stuff, but the sculpt is done. We'll have to lay some clay down inside the eyes, covering the lips, around the side of the head, but ultimately the sculpt of the character itself, done skis. So, awesome. Pass the salt. Thank you so much for the follow. But like I said, you caught us right at the end of stream, so I'm going to bounce out, guys. Thank you so much for everyone hanging out. Pass the salt, of course. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Core Gamer, thank you so much for the follow as well. And Greg, it was great chatting with you, even if it's through text and at live stream. Glitch, thanks for hanging out. I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. We're going to work on the teeth. Since this is pretty much done, it'll almost exclusively be just working on the wax teeth mold. So have a great evening, guys. I will catch up with you tomorrow. Peace out.